Morning everyone, this is Tony from Her Homestead Skills. I hope you've been informed recently that many of the grain, especially wheat, products are going to go up in cost. As a matter of fact, they already have as of this morning. The news out of Russia is that they are not going to honor or renew the agreement they had to allow Ukraine to ship out its wheat. And Ukraine is a mass producer of wheat. So prices are going to go up. All your bread and pasta products are going to go through the roof. I was out again this morning, did pick up some more dried pasta. I believe I have enough flour. I may pick up some more. I do have some wheat berries stashed away and a lovely grain mill that if I need to, I can grind my own, but that is for long-term storage or emergency use if need be. I've also been checking my other grains. I have lots of oats. I mean, last year I really packed my pantry. Potatoes, I had dehydrated probably about 200 pounds of potatoes, so fresh ones might be difficult to come by, perhaps. My potato harvest is terrible this year, perhaps because I was away for almost 2 weeks, and while I was away, the potato bugs did decimate my plants. They didn't do any, they continued while I got back too, but by that time, more than half of my potatoes were gone. So it's been a bit of an unusual gardening year for me. My cucumbers are doing fantastic. My basil is doing fantastic. Tomatoes are stunted. But we can still get a good tomato harvest. I'm hoping I do. And because tomatoes are another thing that could be in short supply this year. I normally buy a couple of bushels in the fall and process them myself. And I did check, and I still have, I guess last year I did a huge quantity. And that's good, but I still intend to top it up this year as soon as they become available in bushel formats. Now, corn and soy, soy I don't do much with, but corn is another thing that is going up in price in a big way. Not too happy about that. Ontario does produce a lot of corn and a lot of vegetables. So, but yes, normally you can drive along and find farmers' stands selling corn, or somebody out of a pickup truck along the roadside selling, mass quantities of corn. I don't think it's any cheaper that way, but at least it's probably fresh picked that day. And I'm a little concerned about what the price will be this fall, but I'm going to do my best to can up as much corn as I think we're going to use, at least for the year. So hopefully next year will be different, but at this day and age, one never knows. I don't really expect things to get any better. I'm also hearing that China's economy is faltering, and because of that, they will be dropping their interest rates while we keep raising ours. So it's a mixed up, upside down world, that's for sure. I don't know what effect that will have on North America's economy, and if North America will start dropping their rates to compensate as well, or if they will just finally stop raising, hard to say. Both Canada and the U.S., we're in the same boat. We've got the same kind of leaders, so they're following the same ideology. So we're in the same fix. Unfortunately, housing is much worse up here. Simply because there's just not as much land that people can actually live on. I mean, Canada is a huge country, but most of it is not habitable. And it's either too cold or, it's not habitable. And Mark always says he doesn't know why we took this land away from the Eskimos. He hates the cold. But anyway, prep everyone. You're going to need to this year. It's not getting any better. You keep hoping it will, but I was at the grocery store this morning, and talk about a bit of a shock. It wasn't the only bag of rice that I saw on the shelves, but it was just plain ordinary white rice. There was nothing special about it. $33 a bag, I think, and the bag was smaller. Usually they're 10-kilogram bags. This one was only 8 kilograms. So smaller, and $33. When I decided to stock up on rice about 1.5 2 years ago, I went to the very large Costco business center, and I paid, I think it was $7 for a 10-kilogram bag. $7. And where I would be able to get it locally, it was somewhere in the range of $10 a bag. And now, I do have to check locally and see what the prices are. I have no idea if that was a error, but it was, the price tag did say that brand of rice. So I don't think it was necessarily an error, but stock up, folks. You're going to need to while you still can. It's going to get worse. All your bread products are going to go through the roof. Once again, doing a double check on my preps, and as I said, I have lots of dehydrated potatoes, lots of dehydrated many things. I'm going to do as many cucumbers as my garden will produce. To heck with it. I will do bread and butter pickles. I've never done those in the past, but I will do them. And I'm going to do my regular dills that I do all the time. Now, these are not dill pickles, but I'll pick them young when they start. And actually, I picked the first one today and just ate it. I brushed off all the little bits on the side, bit off the end and threw it away, and just ate that thing fresh, and it was beautiful. It was probably the tastiest cucumber I've ever had. Right off the vine. It is always tastier food right off the vine. So anyway, yes, I'm going to do as many pickles as my plants will allow, because that seems to be what I can harvest this year. I think my onions are doing well, but the dill has just taken over that patch where the onions are, and I thought I would just leave the dill for a little while. But from what I could see, the onions are producing. I have to determine when to start pulling those. Stems are all still green, so I think that they're still fine to leave them in the ground. And my garlic is still not ready to pull. The stems are still green. Now, there's a fellow who, in another plot, who is actually the fellow who gave me some seed garlic, and he's planted a whole plot of garlic. And I haven't seen him this year at all, but he certainly did plant his garlic. And all his scapes are, woo, right through the... Anyway, I was able to walk up to his plot just to look at it, and his scapes are going to seed. So I don't know if he's leaving them there to go to seed, which is not a bad thing to do as well. But his garlic will be ready to harvest, and I hope nobody takes it on him. He did tell me that one year, just as it was all ready, somebody did take all his garlic. But his garlic looks wonderful, and same product that I've got. So you win some, you lose some. I think I'll have enough tomatoes for eating. I don't think I will have a huge harvest, and those cutworms have done a nasty job on my tomatoes too. But there's still enough plants. It's just they seem to be not growing as well as normal. Now, too much water, not enough sun and heat. Tomatoes like the heat, peppers like the heat. My peppers are growing slowly. And my watermelon plant is doing amazing, and I checked and I have at least 5 or 6 little tiny watermelons that have been fertilized. So don't know how long they'll take to mature. Don't know if I'll get watermelons, but it's worth a try. Some of you have had awesome harvests. I'm glad for you. I have tried to plant cauliflower and cabbage and broccoli, and the rabbits are getting them. And I thought I had fenced off my plot really well, but today when I walked in there was a little bunny in my garden, and yeah, they can get in when they want. I don't care what anyone says. They seem to, and they live there, and there's enough of them there that they do decimate certain gardens. Always have and always will. Like between the cutworms this year, the over amount of watering that we're getting, and the bunnies, it's apparent that I will definitely be buying a lot of produce this fall in order to can it, and that's fine too. I'm still hoping my beans come up. Normally my beans are prolific and they grow 10 feet tall. Don't plant your beans next to garlic and onions. Lesson learned. I do have some canned chicken that I canned up myself, and I would still prefer to can up my chicken rather than buy canned chicken, but it all works. Whatever you can get to stock up, do. It's better in your pantry than in the store shelves. So, even my dry pasta right now, I picked up a few bags this morning, and they were not a bad price, $2.25, I believe, for the good size bag, not the small ones, the good size bag. And but I used to be able to pick those up on sale for $1.25. So I have to stop beating myself about pricing, but just do the best I can to stock up this year and try to stay ahead of what's happening. Definitely flour and corn and other grains are going to be a problem this year. So politics, 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 politics. This is Tony from her Homestead Skills. Do what you can, folks. Stock up that pantry.